Hello, Mitty Peeps, and welcome to the lesson on the discriminant. Now, discrimination is not good. We do not discriminate against anybody, please, thank you very much. But the discriminant in mathematics is a phenomenally important thing, which hopefully by the end of this lesson you will understand. So, for those of you who are being cursed with having been taught by me, then here is the work I wish you to do. Thank you very much. I do not know why I have a German accent. All right? In the previous lesson, we looked at the general quadratic equation, which had that form, and I spent a lot of time explaining what this b squared minus 4ac is, but I never actually gave it a name. Right? We looked at it under the square root sign, and I said it made us nervous. Now we need to look at it and say, well, what does it actually mean, and how can we use this discriminant to help us with exam questions? And there are a lot of exam questions on this discriminant thing. Okay, so first things first, that thing underneath the square root bracket, that bit that was square root of b squared minus 4ac, this b squared minus 4ac is called the discriminant. And it has a little symbol, which happens to be a little triangle. Now, to recap what we did last time, if you remember, when we had the formula x is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, this thing here can take three values. If it's greater than 0, otherwise known as a positive number, that's awesome. That would tell us that if this value is greater than 0, then we will always end up with two solutions to the quadratic, i.e. it will cross in two places. And we can use that information. It can't actually tell us where the crossing points are. All it can tell us is there are two crossing points. So please don't think that just by working out b squared minus 4ac, you'll actually find the x values of these. You don't. All of this value tells you is how many crossing points there are. So in this situation, there are what we call two solutions. We then looked at the idea where there was the second case where b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0. And if you remember, we had x equals minus b plus or minus, that would be the square root of 0 all over 2a, which gave us just minus b over 2a. Because that plus and minus has disappeared, that means there's only one solution. And to describe what would happen there, we would have it just touch here. All right? So there is my one solution. That is my crossing point. And the value could be found as minus b all over 2a. And we remembered that we could also use that information to find the axis of symmetry. So it actually turned out that this value here is the axis of symmetry, which we can use to help us find turning points and what have you. The most critical part to notice is that when b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, that means there is only one solution to my quadratic equation. Again, it won't tell you what the solution is, it just tells you there is one solution. And finally, the one that, again, less than 0 just means it's a negative number. If we can have the square root of b squared minus 4ac, and that is a negative number, then we know we can't take the square root of a negative number, and as such, we would know that there would be no solutions, right? So there would be 0 solutions to this particular instance, i.e. it does not cross the x-axis. And it's really important to know that a solution is where it touches or crosses the x-axis. So we now need to use this. And I suppose the most common way is you would think that, we'll just ask you to state whether the graph touches the x-axis, crosses the x-axis, or doesn't intersect the x-axis. Notice the language there, whether it crosses, touches, or does not intersect. All right, lots of different language, all means the same thing. So, find the discriminant of. Is it in the correct form? Is it in ax squared plus bx plus c form? Yes, it seems to be. So I know my a value is 2, my b value is minus 3, and my c value is negative 5. So what do I need to do? I need to work out b squared minus 4ac, because my discriminant, that triangle thing, is given by b squared minus 4ac. So b squared is minus 3 squared minus 4 times 2 times minus 5. Well, minus 3 squared is 9. Minus 4 times 2 is 8. And minus 8 times minus 5 will give me plus 40. So I now know my discriminant is 49. The actual value means nothing. We are looking for three cases. We are looking for my discriminant to be greater than 0, my discriminant to be equal to 0, or my discriminant to be less than 0. And in this situation, because it's greater than 0, we now know there are two solutions. And that's literally the excitement about the discriminant. So I would now be looking at finding those two solutions, right? This 49 does not give me any information about the actual solutions. It just tells me there are two of them. Now, don't press stop, not just yet, guys. This is a preview video and you've reached almost the end of it, but it does continue over on MaffsGuru.com. MaffsGuru.com, yep, that's my custom website. Bits of it you can see around me at the moment. That has been designed to allow the videos to be easier searched than they are on YouTube. So you can search by chapter, by textbook. Each video has downloadable notes for you, so you can put them in your summary book or your exercise book. There are exam questions, and there is more and more content and more stuff coming as time allows. So head on over there. It's absolutely free to sign up, and I'm doing everything I can to make sure that you guys enjoy maths and actually take out the mastery of maths. It is not as hard as you think. It is all smoke and mirrors. Okay, thanks very much. Take care, guys. I look forward to seeing you in another video. Stay safe.